Well, the main point of the chapter is that everyone is walking around and not knowing what they're talking about, right? So we all wake up, and everyone does this, and I'm even guilty of this sometimes. You wake up and then you see what's going on in the world, and the Iran nuclear deal happened, and suddenly everyone's freaking out about the Iran nuclear deal, and suddenly people who could never point to Iran on a map, suddenly they know everything about centrifuges, halfway across the world. Any given day you wake up, suddenly everyone's a constitutional scholar when it comes to Roe v. Wade. Everyone's a constitutional scholar when it comes to the Green New Deal or the Paris Climate Accords. That we've set up so many systems that are not doing the things that they are supposed to be doing. An education, a basic education, and one of my, when it was more easy for me to say I was a liberal, an old school liberal, a classical liberal, which is what my first book is all about. One of the reasons that I could fall back on that was because I believed that there was a role for the government when it came to public education. I don't know that there is anymore. I think over the last 2 or 3 years, as we have seen this thing devolve, as we have seen the activists take over for real teachers, as we have seen schools focus more on critical race theory and gender nonsense and race stuff, as opposed to, hey, maybe teaching kids that 2 + 2 is 4, maybe teaching kids an honest assessment of American history, which, by the way, would include, obviously, talking about racism and slavery, which, of course, I learned about at a public school, and virtually every school does learn about, but not just endlessly focusing on a certain set of issues that are designed to make children unaware of reality, their own personal biological reality, or the reality of the country and the history of the country. So I think, and really what the purpose of the book is and why the chapter's in there, is we have to start disassociating from some of these things. They've infected an awful lot, but you don't need these things. They want you to think you need these things, and I don't think that you do.